Okay, so here we go. This is an example of a level 3. So when we first look at it, just like we did before, we want to check and make sure they're aligned. Notice the x's are lined up, the y's are lined up, and the answers are lined up. Then the second thing we want to do is check and see, is there any situation when we add these together it eliminates? No, not yet. Now we're going to check and see, is there anything that looks nice, we would call a multiple of one or the other, and 3 or 4, they don't really work too well, nor does 4 and 7. We're not too worried about the answers because we want to eliminate one of the variables, not the answer. So the simple matter on this one is we're going to take a variable of 1 and times it by the other. So I'm going to work on eliminating x. I just chose that randomly. I could eliminate y. What I need to do is identify the coefficient. So the coefficient of the x is -3, and the coefficient of y of this x is -4. So now what I'm going to do is use that information to rewrite both of these equations. So I'll take the bottom one and multiply it against the top. And then I'll take the top one and multiply it by the bottom. Now, if I were to do this, we'd notice that the signs, because they're going to be the same, it wouldn't cancel out. So I'm going to go ahead and think through that a little bit, and I'm going to change the sign of one of these options so that when I get the multiples done, that they will cancel out. So the top one, I'll times every term on the top equation by -3. So I get 12x minus 21y equals a -24. Then we have +4. So we have +4 times -3x. We get a -12x. Then we also get -4, or excuse me, 4 times 4 is 16. So we have a 16y, and then we have a +24. Now, we'll go ahead then and use what we know to add them together. Now, I'm just going to worry about adding the outside, so I'm going to leave my originals alone. I'll just kind of skip over that and go from the top one down here to the bottom. Okay, so if I go 12 minus 12, I get 0, so that goes away. And then I have -21 and 16. So let's see, -21, that should be, the difference would be 5. So I have a -5y. Then I also have a -24 and a +24. That leaves 0. Now I might be tempted to say, oh, there's no answer, but wait a minute. I think I can come up with a solution. What times -5 is 0? Well, isn't that 0? I could also find it this way by just dividing both sides, just like we always do. When we have the situation, divide by -5, which would give us 0. So y equals 0. Then I go back up and I can replace one of the other expressions with y equals 0, and I can find that solution. So we've had lots of practice with this, so you should be able to work that part out.